The primary purpose of a CRM like HubSpot is to organize your customer prospect database in a simple and effective way. And one of the most direct methods of organization is the creation of lists. So lists, they are like groups of contacts or companies sharing common characteristics. For example, we can automatically get the list of all our English customers with an annual revenue of more than $100,000. So why creating this list? Because it allows us to generate analytical reports, identify errors, trigger automations, etc. But the most obvious use is to obtain mailing lists for our email campaigns. So in this video, we will see how to create a list on HubSpot, the different types of lists and best practices related to their creation. To get the most value from this video, it's important to understand what a HubSpot property is and how to manipulate them. If it's not the case already, I refer you to my video in this series on the subject. Now that we are ready, we can get started. To illustrate our video, we will use the example of our weight loss solution sales company. So basically, we have two types of consumer, if you remember. We have the B2B market, which are the doctors in the clinics that want to propose our products to their clients. And we have our B2C leads that are direct customers that want to purchase our solution. With these two completely different targets, we cannot afford to communicate in the same way and send the same marketing content or even assign them to the same salespeople. That's why it's important to be able to create lists that allow us to isolate a part of our database corresponding to the specific action we want to take. So for today, we will create two lists. First, we will create a list of all the English pharmacy managers with a turnover of more than $100,000 and a B2C list with all our French leads with a BMI of more than 30 because our products are reserved to this range. It should not be that complicated because these are properties that we already store and manage on our CRM. So let's see how to do it. Just a quick break to inform you that this video is part of a free training focusing on how to set up your HubSpot portal in the most efficient way possible. This free training will be divided into 7 big modules, each addressing a specific key point of your HubSpot portal. And each module consists into several videos that will go deeper into a specific functionality or feature of your HubSpot portal. If it's not already the case when you watch this video, the videos in this series will be published gradually and they will be added to this specific playlist. I have also prepared a private web page bringing together all the different content of this free training and some additional bonus content. So to benefit of this free content and to be notified for every new chapter that is releasing, I invite you to click on the link in the description below. In the contact tab, you can find the list option. You click on it and we will find all the lists we have created. It's a new portal, so we don't have any yet, but at the end of the video, we will have 2 new lists that will appear here. To create a new list, simply find this orange button and click on it. And you already have several choices to make. First, the choice of the object. As explained in the first video, HubSpot is divided into several databases related to types of record. We have on one side the contacts and on the other side the companies, for instance. So we have to select the good object for our to list, and in our to list, the object will be contact. And then you have to give it a name. This is generally a step too often underestimated. Over time, you will end up with hundreds or thousands of lists, and it will become more and more difficult to find your way around. Of course, you can recreate a list each time, but first you're limited in the number of total lists you can create depending on your subscription, and it will create a huge mess and a big gas factory if you operate like that. That's why my solution is to define a nomenclature to follow for all the assets created on your portal. This nomenclature should be able to apply to your list, your reports, your workflows, your emails, etc. The idea is to be as clear as possible, and in our case, we have several typology of clients, we have several countries, so we can use this kind of nomenclature. First market, then country, then goal of the list. So if we take our example of B2C, our market is B2C, our country is FR, and the goal is to find all the leads that have a BMI greater than 30. So that would be the name of our list. And for the B2B one, the market is B2B, the target is UK, and the goal is to find annual revenue greater than 100K. So by making a breadcrumb tail nomenclature like this one, you don't really need to create a description, as the name is really clear on what the list is and what it's used for. The other benefits of using this breadcrumb trail nomenclature is that you can organize your list into folders and subfolders, as we will see at the end of this video. And the last choice you need to make is to choose the type of list you're creating. You need to choose if it will be an active list or a static list. There are a lot of different use for these two types of lists. If you want, I can create a dedicated video, but to simply understand the difference between the two, the first one, active list, is evolving. It means that you define your filtering criteria of your list, and if a lead matches these criteria in 2 weeks, for instance, it will be added to the list. On the contrary, if a lead from the list no longer matches the criteria, it will leave the list. So with an active list, you have in real time the part of your database corresponding to your filters. The static list is fixed. It means you perform your filters, and at the time of saving your list, it will take a snapshot, and no lead can enter or leave this list except manual action on your part. So in our two cases, and in most of the cases when we are talking about like email communication, we want to select evolving list, so active list, because we want that at the moment we shoot the email communication, all the leads that match the filters are receiving the communication. So we choose our type and we can click on next. And now all you have to do is set up your filter rules. These rules, they are super complete and allow us to play with the properties of our objects, like that, the properties of associated object, but also with all the different interactions the lead could have done with your HubSpot assets. Let's say as interaction, call to action, email, forms, etc., etc. And the second thing to know is that these rules are based on and or rules, allowing us great flexibility in our filtering. So now let's show an example and realize the list of all our doctors from United Kingdom with an annual revenue greater than 100K. So the first thing we need to choose is a contact property, and this contact property is market. So we choose a market and is any of B2B, because it's how we divided our database. So now we will have all the different doctors we have on our database. But we want to have only the UK one, so we can add an and filter, choose contact property again, and choose our country property. We decided to use country 2 because it's a drop-down select, and as you see now, it will be really easy to segment our database for the country. Now we see that some leads disappear because some of them are not from UK. And the last part is to choose the annual revenue of 100K. But we have an issue because this property is a company property. So we will not be able to find it here. We need to change the object and choose company. And now we will have access to all the properties of the company associated to our contacts. So we click on here and we just need to select annual revenue. Then the type of filtering is greater than or equal to, and just select 100,000. Once that's done, we can see we have 4 contacts. Normally it can take a bit more time if you have like a big database to processing the list, but once it's done, you can just click on Save List, and you can see that our 4 leads are showing in the list. And now I will quickly do the B2C one to show you another example. So we create list. It's a contact-based active list. We name it B2C, FR, BMI greater than 30, and we click on next. And same as the first list, we need to replicate our filters in the filter tab. So first one is a contact property. It's a market, and it's a B2C market. And the country this time is France. And the last thing we need to play on is BMI is greater than or equal to 30. And that's done. We just need to save the list. And that's it. You have your 3 leads that correspond to the filter we decide. So now when we go back to lists, we have our two lists that are listed from the oldest to the newest one. As I said before, when you will have 1000 lists here, it will be a bit hard for you to find them back. That's why we can organize our list into folders. So as we created a breadcrumb trail nomenclature, we can replicate it as folders and subfolders. So our first level of folder is the market. So either B2B or B2C. Then when we enter in B2B, we have the country level. So we can create, let's say, UK, France, and let's say Spain. And when you go to B2C, we can do the same. So UK, FR, and Spain. And once it's done, we have all folders that are already well organized, and we just need to put the good list in the good folder. So to do so, you just need to go to all lists here and select the list you want to move to folder, and that's our B2C FR BMI list. So we go to B2C FR, move, and for B2B UK, we select B2B UK, and after thousands and thousands of list creation, you'll be able to find every list you need by simply go to the good folders and subfolders. I hope you enjoy this video. If it's the case, don't forget to put a thumbs up, to subscribe to this channel, and to save this playlist to make sure you don't miss any new chapter of this free training. And don't forget the link in the description below that gives you this free access to all the content of this free training, plus more additional content on how to set up your HubSpot portal in the most efficient way possible. For those who are discovering me through this video, I'm Grégoire, HubSpot expert for more than 7 years now, and I will see you very soon for more HubSpot tips.